Hey, it's Dan. There's a bit of an issue with my noise gate, so everyone's gonna be like a little bit cut off in their audio in this. My humblest apologies. I will see to it that this doesn't happen again. Thanks. Bye.
Hello and welcome to the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. I'm one of your students, Devon Wren.
I'm the other student, Morg.
And I'm the teacher, Dan. And this week we are talking about a mainline Sonic game. We are talking about the OG 3D Sonic game. We are talking about Sonic Adventure. A lot of people, I imagine, are more familiar with Sonic Adventure DX, which came out for the GameCube, a console that... Yeah?
It also came out for, like, the PS1, maybe?
It came for the PS2 and the PC, I think.
Maybe that's...
Yeah. I assume most people are familiar with the GameCube version. That's probably the most popular of the three.
Gotcha.
But, this one... This game came out 1998 in Japan, 1999 on the Dreamcast, and 2004 on the GameCube and whatnot on the updated version, SADX. Sonic Adventure DX, Director's Cut, I should mention it, is known for having quite a few changes. It added, like, emblems, which were in Sonic Adventure 2. You collect certain numbers, you get, like, Game Gear games you can play. You can unlock... They added, like, crossplay for the Chao Gardens with SA2 Battle. But it's probably most known for its, like, reduced graphical quality. They changed a lot of the textures and not for the better.
That's really interesting, because I did see that in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
People being like, this one looks better than the DX one.
The DX version, made it a lot shinier, and... It did not look as good. Also, a thing about the future ports of this, years later, this got ported to the 360 using the GameCube version. They were using the PC version, which was a port of the GameCube version. And then after that, basically any port of that is a port of the 360 version. So the PC version you get on, like, Steam and whatnot is, like, 4 layers removed from the original version. Because of this, yeah. Because of this, there have been fan efforts to, like, bring it back to the original graphical quality while retaining some of the more interesting upgrades, like the Game Gear games and stuff. Though the version where the playthrough we've used for reference is the Dreamcast version.
Looks pretty good for something made in 98.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was kind of a big deal when it came out because the Dreamcast was the first 6th generation console. Before, like, it came out like a year or two before, like, the PS2, the GameCube, and original Xbox. Actually, I think 3 years. Yeah.
So I guess this was made after this, like Mario 64 and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is like post Mario 64, pre, like, I'll just say Luigi's Mansion. So, a bit about the development of this game. After Sonic and Knuckles came out for the Genesis, Sega, both Sonic as a series and Sega as a console on the console market sort of went to a slump. Like, the Saturn was not doing well. It did okay in Japan, but elsewhere it was doing pretty shit. There weren't really any Sonic games coming out other than, like, side games, like Knuckles Chaotix, Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, Sonic R, and so on. There was an in-development 3D Sonic game for the Saturn called Sonic Extreme, but this never really saw the light of day, although it would lead into, like, the development of Sonic Adventure, just because they were using that to work with how do we make Sonic in a 3D space. Takashi Iizuka, senior game designer for Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, had an idea of a, quote, Sonic RPG for their next big game. They decided, let's not commit to the RPG, but let's still give it more of a story than our past games. So, they
definitely something.
began work. Yeah. The initial work was for, like, the Sega Saturn, but then they started working on the Dreamcast, so they decided to keep working on it for the Dreamcast. And it would, in fact, become a launch title for the Dreamcast. Some other things to note. In order to, like, get references for the sort of like South American, Central American aesthetics they wanted to include, they sent a bunch of the core development team on a trip through first the Yucatan Peninsula and then to Peru to just, like, study ruins and get potential, like, reference material. There were a lot of photos taken. They went to, like, some of the places they went to included, like, Machu Picchu, Chichen Itza, I think I mispronounced that. Also, thank you to Sonic Retro for providing all of this information for me. They went to Tulam, Tikal, Oaxaca, the Nazca Lines, Cusco, and Pachacamac.
Sick.
Yeah. Two of these...
I love to get to go on vacation for my job.
I mean, it wasn't... I guess, kinda, yeah. I mean, there were some difficult parts. They had to deal with spiders and snakes, and one of them passed out from altitude sickness at one point. But yeah, it played a big role in the game's development. Two of the locations I listed have characters named after them.
Oh.
Tikal and Pachacamac.
I knew Tikal. I don't remember.
Huh.
I mean, Pachacamac is, like, definitely one of the less easily remembered parts. And I don't think they ever, like, say his name in the cutscene.
Oh.
Yeah, like, the only time you actually learn his name is from, like, an NPC in a section that you can only visit very briefly. Eventually they came back to Japan, ready to work on the game. Let's see, Naoto Oshima and Yuji Uekawa began work on upgraded designs for all the main characters. Starting with Sonic, of course, and then moving on to Tails and Knuckles. Dr. Eggman and Amy Rose getting huge redesigns.
Was Amy in something before this?
Yes, Amy was in Sonic CD, and I believe appears in a bunch of side games too. Her CD appearance is very different. They also decided they wanted to add some new characters with new gameplay styles to attract the attention of people who would be less interested in a Sonic title, including E102 Gamma, who has, like, shooting levels, and Big the Cat, the oft-remembered, widely beloved fishing cat. It was a character that would go at their own pace. They also decided to use the A-Life technology from Nights into Dreams to retool it into a pet simulator, which is the well-remembered, well-beloved Chao Garden.
Everyone loves the Chao Garden.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a Chao.
They're very good. Yeah, it came out in Japan in 1998, and in the Western world, it came out as a launch title for the Dreamcast on September 9th, 1999, or 9999. It was kind of like, there's like a whole push about how, like, it would be on this, like, distinct date. I think that's, like, the core of the background information for this game. As far as the gameplay goes, like, each character has their own gameplay style. Their levels, like, functioning differently than the others. I'll go over this with each character as we get to them. But for now, let's start with the opening and Sonic's story. This sort of, like, intro cutscene to the game shows this busy city that is immediately destroyed by what appears to be a typhoon of apocalyptic proportions. And then, coming out of one of the buildings, is a water kaiju.
Big water dragon just, like, coming out the side of a building.
Big old...
Yeah.
Just big old boy.
Yeah. And then it starts playing some PS2 demo disc music, which transitions into Open Your Heart, the big Crush 40 title of this game. And it shows off all the different characters. I fucking love this opening.
But rock.
Yeah.
Oh, it rules.
After the player has witnessed this, they can begin their game with Sonic's story. We open with Sonic running from rooftop to rooftop in a city. He says his first official voiced lines in a video game.
Woo!
Not counting, like, Easter eggs or minor stuff. Which is...
Oh yeah! This is happening!
The happening is referring to him being able to talk now.
Yeah.
I can talk now.
He says, "What's up, everybody? I got a voice."
Let me have a voice that everyone's going to make fun of.
Yeah!
He sees some cops' cars rushing somewhere, and he thinks, oh shit, I should see what's going on. That sounds fun.
Sonic commits vigilante justice.
He really does. Like, in many senses, Sonic is basically a superhero.
Batman.
Sonic is Batman in this game.
He shows up at, like, Town Hall, where in the middle of Town Hall, this mysterious water entity is just standing there. He is simply standing there, and the cops are freaking out.
He's standing there menacingly.
I'm very happy that Sonic 98 for the Dreamcast fully understood what police are about, which is if you're just standing there, they will shoot at you.
Yeah. Thankfully for this water creature, bullets just bounce off as effortlessly.
Can't really shoot water.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to shoot, like, liquid.
There's this whole bit where the cops, like, shoot at them, the bullets bounce off, and they freak out and retreat. I should note all of this voice acting is, it's of the era.
It's extremely good, is what you're saying.
It's wonderful.
There's just a lot of, like, funny lines, like, ah! When Tails is about to crash, it's like, ah!
Yeah. I love that bit so much. Sonic decides to intervene and fights this entity, known as Chaos Zero. Chaos is a recurring boss in this game, appearing in various forms, for reasons we will get into very soon. He's basically a slime. So, basically the fight is, Chaos attacks you with its big stretchy water goo arms. You dodge it. You do a homing attack into Chaos's head. I should mention this about Sonic. A new feature that has been added for Sonic is the homing attack. It's, simply put, you jump, you press the jump button again, and you home in on an enemy and attack them. Sonic's levels are sort of basically like, platformer levels. You go through a thing, experience some set pieces, and you get to the end of the level. Sonic wins and says, "Hey, I'll play with you some other time!" And Chaos escapes down a drain, and Dr. Robotnik is on a rooftop saying, "That's Chaos, you fool! The god of destruction!"
Those are his hooves, you bitch.
Yeah. So, Sonic ignores this, and the next day he's chilling at a hotel pool, just catching some rays.
Showing out with his crew in the schoolyard.
Yeah, finding trouble, never looking too hard.
Yeah.
But, he sees Tails, who's flying a plane that's going out of control, and his natural response is to say, "Tails, watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah!"
I hate that.
He says, "Ah," just like that.
He says, I hate that. I hate when you crash.
Ah! He's like, ah!
Yeah.
Like me when I press just the A key on my keyboard once. Ah.
Just, ah.
So, Sonic goes off to rescue Tails. And I could talk about... I'll talk about the first level. This first level is Emerald Coast. It's a sunny beach with blue sky, and beautiful. There's nice music. There's a set piece where Sonic is running along a bridge and gets chased by a killer whale. And the video we used just picked up a playthrough with no commentary, and unfortunately in the second half of this level, there is an audio glitch where it just keeps playing the invincibility theme, but cutting itself off and restarting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't ride it. I think that's in another game. That's Sonic 06.
But why did I... I think you're right.
To be fair to this in Sonic 06, Sonic 06 is trying so hard to be this game.
It is!
Oh, extremely.
I was
Like,
thinking
trying
that.
really, really hard.
I was like, this...
When I saw the opening cutscene, I was like, damn, this is Sonic 06.
Yeah, I was like, is this Sonic 06? Except,
Yeah.
like, older.
Sonic 06 really wants to be this game and just can't.
It looks about,
Yeah.
like, as good as Sonic 06 is the thing. But made...
Which is not
but
good
made
for Sonic 06.
8 years earlier. Anyway.
Yeah,
That game's
yeah.
too easy to make fun of.
yeah, we'll get to it one day, and
One
boy,
day we'll
that'll be a
destroy
day.
it.
Sonic rescues Tails, and they head back to the hotel. Sonic says, like, you're way too good of a pilot to be doing that. What's the deal? And Tails explains that he was testing a prototype plane that's powered by a Chaos Emerald. Supercharged!
Yeah, he says it has unlimited energy, and I'm like, why are you just using it for a plane then?
I love how he just kind of whips out a Chaos Emerald like it's no big deal. He's just kind of like, oh, I
Yeah.
found this. It's a Chaos Emerald. You know, those super cool things that we use?
Yeah.
Don't they, like... I guess only in some things, but, like, don't they, like, make you a little crazy sometimes?
They do in the UK Sonic, but this...
Okay.
It's normal here in a modern world lore.
It's
No,
just a
I'm
really
think-
cool battery.
No, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of, Sonic X, because it makes, like, things around it
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
come to life.
Huh. Yeah, so they decide they're gonna go to the Mystic Ruins by train. And I guess I can use this moment to talk about the adventure fields. So this game has 3 sort of hub worlds called adventure fields. And this is the first of the 3. Station Square City.
With humans?
Yeah. Actually, I should mention a thing about the human people world. So, this is a weird, semi-retroactive lore decision. But officially, in modern Sonic, there are 2 worlds. There's the human world, and there's the Anthro world. This game takes place in the human world, and games that don't have humans take place in the Anthro world.
Does it ever explain why it takes place in the
No, I don't think so. They don't explain why, they don't explain how they get there or how they get back, which they seem to do relatively easily, too.
Huh.
But yeah, I think that's basically if humans are there, it's in one world. If there aren't any humans, it's the other.
Whack.
But there can be anthros in both.
Yeah. And one human, at least. Dr. Eggman.
True. If he's human.
Yeah, that really implies that he's not.
I guess he's technically human because we do meet his grandpa in Sonic Adventure 2 from the human world.
Fair enough.
They head to the Mystic Ruins, where Tails' workshop is. I don't remember why, but on their way there, they run into Robotnik again. He wants to take over the world, and he wants all the Chaos Emeralds to do it. So Sonic fights him. And we get our second boss of the game, the Egg Hornet. It's the Egg-O-Matic with these, like, big drill and missile attachments. It shoots missiles at you. Sometimes it drills into the ground. Eggman says, "All systems, full power." And, get a load of this. And fight it by whenever it drills into the ground, you do a homing attack. That's basically it. It goes by pretty quickly. There's a bunch of splat noises while the Egg-O-Matic crashes, and Eggman uses a claw to snatch the Chaos Emerald away from Tails. And Dr. Eggman summons Chaos. Oh, also during, like, the whole exchange, we explain the Eggman/Robotnik situation. So, officially, his real name is Dr. Ivo Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius in the world. However, his nickname that Sonic gives him to make fun of him is Eggman. That's about it.
Congrats, you are now Eggman because I want to be rude.
I feel like this is like
Jokerification of Sonic.
If everyone just called... This is like if everyone called Richard Dawkins Dick Dorkin.
They should.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
It's not too late to start.
And also if eventually Dick Dorkins started calling himself Dick Dorkins.
Does he call himself Eggman?
Over time it seems to just be his
changes.
name. Yeah. So, Eggman feeds a Chaos Emerald to Chaos, and it grows stronger. And he says it's just as the stone tablets predicted. He's going to feed Chaos all 7 emeralds and make it a completely unstoppable servant for him. He's going to destroy Station Square, and on top of it build Robotnik Land, the ultimate city.
Robotropolis, come on.
Come on, man.
But
He has time to rename it.
is this... Does Sonic fight Chaos here too, or is that later?
That's later.
Okay.
I think they
Chaos
just leave
slurps.
right now. Yeah.
Because I want to talk about the Chaos fight when it comes up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sonic and Tails decide they need to collect all the emeralds before Robotnik does so they can stop him. So, they do that. And I guess I can talk about the next adventure field, which is the Mystic Ruins. It's a bunch of wilderness divided into, like, 3 different sections. There's the area where the train station is. There's, like, this big jungle maze. And the 3rd section doesn't unlock until later, but is the floating Knuckles' floating island, which has crashed into the ground.
Oh.
You know what? I'm thinking about it, and I'm not sure if we've ever even brought up the floating island before.
I feel like we may have... Or maybe, I don't know. I vaguely...
I don't think Knuckles has come up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've only talked about Boom Knuckles, who is just him. He doesn't have the island.
Yeah,
And then, like, Knuckles
it's just Himbo.
OVA with the hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where every island is a floating island.
This may be our first instance of Game Knuckles?
Yeah, I think so. They get to the next stage by finding a crystal key and putting it on a pedestal, which sets off some, like, magical wind to send them flying to the next stage, which is Windy Valley.
A lot of this game.
Yeah.
Free mode of transport.
Yeah, Windy Valley is like a bunch of floating islands with windmills everywhere. It's the big set piece is like at one point you get sucked up by a tornado. There's like a section that's in the tornado and you're like going through it. And then the third section is just like a bunch of like more floating stuff. I don't know how to describe it other than what it is. Maybe it's like some sort of some ancient wind farm. That's what I'm imagining now. And they get a Chaos Emerald. They go back to Station Square. This is where I talk about some of the other aspects of Station Square that I completely overlooked. So, Station Square is also, like, divided into 3 sections. There's the sort of, like, main street area where there's the train station, there's the hotel entrance. There's, like, a sort of shopping district, which features, like, Town Hall. It's got there's an entrance to the sewers. And the most important thing in this section is there is a Burger Man statue, or a statue outside a burger shop, and it looks like an NPC, but when you interact with it, you just pick it up. It's great. It's a good gag. It's also based on, like, the Colonel's Curse. Listen to Kamurocho Radio if you want to understand.
I was like, I don't understand.
I mean, it's based on how KFC just has like Colonel Sanders statues outside it.
Oh. All right.
There's also like a lot of NPCs in this whole area that have like storylines that develop. Like, for instance, there's like these like pining would-be lovers that are too afraid to talk to each other. There's a mom with a gambling problem.
Oh.
Side.
I'm having trouble remembering all this. Yeah. And also there's like another section where there's a casino. We'll get to that in a bit. This next section of the game, Sonic goes into the sewer and finds a pair of shoes. And this is like introducing the upgrade system. Every character has like at least 2 upgrades, at least one of which is mandatory and one of which is optional. They're cool. They change the appearance of the character for the rest of the game. They provide some sort of upgrade. That's about it. We get the first proper appearance of the mysterious tutorial orb. Throughout the game, there's this mysterious orb that floats around and gives, like, tutorial tips. This time, telling Sonic how to use the shoes to create a lightspeed dash. Perform a lightspeed dash.
Ready.
Go! The tutorial orb is important for reasons we will get to at some point. But Sonic is now able to do the lightspeed dash, which lets him charge up a dash that he can use to follow a trail of rings. He goes to the casino, which has a trail of rings floating outside it, which lets him hit a thing on it and lets him go in while it's still closed.
Pinball time, baby.
Yeah. This is the third stage of the game, or third stage of Sonic's story. Casino Night. Is it? Yeah. Casinopolis or Casino Night?
It's Casinopolis, but there is a night-based pinball game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Casinopolis has a slightly different goal. Instead of get to the end, you have to collect enough rings to deposit at the bank to create a huge enough pile of rings that you can get up to the emerald to collect it.
I love that shakedown machine.
Yeah. You like, in order to, like, get them, you, like, step on a button, and there's, like, big, like, claw hands come out and shake all the rings out of Sonic. In order to collect the ring, there's slot machines that if you hit them, there's rings come out. And mainly there's these 2 pinball minigames. One of them is more generally Sonic themed, and the other is themed after Nights into Dream, one of Sega's major releases for the Sega Saturn. Nights into Dream is a weird game, and so is the pinball game based on it. The easiest way is actually to fail one of the pinball minigames with 0 ring, which dumps you in the trash. And it is much easier to collect rings in, like, this sort of trash sewer area than it is to just, like, grind out the pinball game. But, and also when you climb out of the sewers, you end up in the shower room, where Sonic can take a shower.
Yeah!
I love that they give you a shower option.
It, like, turns on.
There's like, you're disgusting,
It's like
please
Tails
Clea.
is watching.
To be fair, it's not like he wears anything other than his shoes all the time.
It's normal.
Which should be a concern because he doesn't take his shoes off in the shower. Those shoes sop in wet.
So...
Does he ever take off his shoe? Actually, I feel like we've talked about it.
He
I'm
got
done.
his shoe stolen in the Sonic cartoon, and we got a big shot of.
Yeah, I forgot it.
Yeah. Sonic cannot take his
Legally.
shoes off. Otherwise,
It's illegal.
yeah. Morally, legally, ethically, Sonic cannot take his shoes
Punishable
off.
by the law.
Also, in the game, Sonic doesn't have any toes. None of the characters have toes.
Why do you know that?
Well, you can tell because Big the Cat, who wears sandals, doesn't have any toes. Yeah, they've all got big old blob feet. Sonic, freshly showered and carrying plenty of rings, is able to get to the top of the ring pile to grab the Chaos Emerald and finish the stage. And when Sonic finishes and leaves the casino, he gets sprayed with some kind of sleeping gas by Eggman. And Eggman steals the emerald he just got. Sonic and Tails wake up in the street the next morning, presumably completely ignored. And they realize, oh shit, Eggman stole an emerald, but only one of the 2 emeralds we have. And Tails explains, that's 2 to our 1, and that's not good.
That's no good, Sonic.
Yeah. Also, after this, it's around this point where gameplay resumes, where if you look up, you can see Cream the Rabbit fly by.
Oh!
Yeah, there's like 1 or 2 Cream cameos in Adventure DX.
Was Cream in CD also?
No, Cream was first introduced in Sonic Advance 2, which came out, I think, in like 2003.
Oh, you were
relatively
saying in DX there was cameos.
Yeah.
Not in it.
Yeah.
A little treat for later.
Yeah. Cream. Yeah.
Ah.
Cream for later.
They find another crystal key and go to another level in the Mystic Ruins. This time, it's Ice Cap, which is the Ice Cap zone from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. They found that Angel Island has crashed into the Mystic Ruins. They don't
It doesn't
comment
matter.
on this.
Angel Island. Angel Island's Knuckles' Island. I don't know if we actually said the name of it.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. So, yeah, Ice Cap. It's divided into 3 sections. The first section is just Sonic climbing up a mountain. The second section is Sonic just going through an ice cave. And the third section is Sonic snowboarding. And it's to this point that I realize I forgot to list how every song in this game's soundtrack has like these like weird titles. Let me see.
Doesn't the Mystic music or like that have like weird?
Oh yeah, Mystic Ruins has like sort of like singing or chanting in the background.
It's a little weird, especially with like all the inspiration from like South American stuff.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I would say that maybe they did exotify ancient South and Central American culture a bit.
It's a bit.
Yeah. Not great. This song that plays in the snowboarding game is really good. Well, the name of the song, I mean. The song is good, but this song is called Be Cool, Be Wild, and Be Groovy for Ice Cap. Also, all of like the stage level themes have like a ... for stage name.
Oh, okay.
Sick as hell.
That's why it's like
Sonic has to outrun an avalanche, and he like goes on. He can like do tricks on ramps, and he can do tricks on ramp. At one point, a bunch of Eggman robots show up and start lobbing explosives everywhere. And at the end is a Chaos Emerald.
I love this section because I feel like Sonic could easily outrun this, but he instead chooses the more radical option, which is just grab a snow. Yeah, it's his choice.
Yeah. This was definitely in the era of the extreme sports game. Sonic is able to escape with a Chaos Emerald, and on his way out, he runs into none other than Knuckles.
And is like immediately rude to him. His island is like crashed into the ground and destroyed, and he's just like, "Yo, Knuckles, what the fuck is up?"
Yeah.
Do you have a problem? Because Knuckles fucking attacks him. And it's like, yeah, dude.
My house is destroyed.
Yeah.
His home is fucking landed. What do you mean?
He's like, bro, do you see my house?
Yeah. So they have a fight. It's not a particularly well designed fight.
It's also stupid that it happens at all.
Yeah.
Knuckles
you can just attack.
So dumb.
You can attack Knuckles however you want. It's not a big threat. And whenever you hit Knuckles, he says, "Oh no."
He says that.
Oh no.
I wasn't fully paying attention to when that started, and I thought I just like turned on like a meme video for a second.
Me too.
Because I swear to God, I've heard.
Yeah, this is where that's from. It's such a good clip. Oh no. And at the end, they do a big, cool attack, and they drop all the emeralds, and Eggman steals them.
Yeah. Very drive.
Yeah. Apparently, Eggman tricked Knuckles into fighting them. He did what he did in Sonic 3, which is supposed to be a different continuity, supposedly, but isn't. he tricked Eggman.
But isn't because Sonic says you got tricked again, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, when did he get tricked before? But I realized we haven't covered Sonic yet.
Yeah. Eggman tricked Knuckles into fighting him, and now Eggman has 4 emeralds.
I love how Eggman is just letting Sonic do his entire job for him.
Yeah, and then just being like, mine now.
Like, he fully showed up to Sonic when he found one, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna steal the rest, you guys better go find them, like, quickly. And then just hangs out until they find more and just takes them.
Yeah. Gotta say, Eggman has a pretty smart plan here.
Yeah, Eggman is doing the big brain maneuvers this game.
He uses the 4 emeralds to, create Chaos 4. And we get a boss fight.
Yeah. Don't you, isn't this the boss battle where Sonic is in the water?
Yeah, so this one is weird because, like, they're in a lake.
Can we talk about that?
You can't drown in the lake unless you really fuck up, because for whatever reason you just sink very, very slowly.
You can just stand there.
Yeah. You can also stand on the lily pads without risk of sinking, but you can just, like, get up and jump and it's fine.
I was like, so much for Sonic being unable to swim.
Yeah.
What he does is he just kicks his feet really fast so it looks like he's floating. But really, he's just, like, pushing the water away.
I think Chaos turned this lake into goo.
Oh, so he's just standing in chaos goo.
I mean, that's
the only...
not great either, but...
He's in Jello.
But, like, I didn't get that at all, so I just was like, oh, I guess Sonic can swim now.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know,
but just in this game.
This is a different continuity. In this world, Sonic can't swim, but he just, like, floats and drowns very slowly.
Yeah.
He's, like, less dense than normal.
Yeah, there are other underwater sections of this game where you can drown, but they're very few and far apart.
It's very strange. So I guess it does have to be goo, right? Or they just didn't think about it and don't give a fuck.
I'm thinking they don't give a fuck.
It's just as possible.
Yeah.
With Sega?
I think they were like, let's just have a water boss fight, and we're like, don't worry, Sonic can slowly float now.
Yeah.
Sonic's worst enemy, water.
Yeah. So, the gist of this Chaos 4 fight is Chaos attacks, they're like this sort of shark thing, almost. They swim through the water, you attack when its head comes out of the water.
Because before it was like a human man shape. I mean, not really. It was definitely alien shape.
It was very anthropomorphic. 2 arms, 2 legs, and so on.
2 arms, 2 legs, 1 goo heart.
1 goo brain that you can see.
He's not so different than us anyway.
Chaos has a visible brain.
Chaos isn't so different than us after all.
Yeah. So, Sonic eventually beats Chaos 4, and this cool pre-rendered cinematic where a huge airship shows up happens. And then it gets rendered in real time and looks a lot worse.
Eggman just shows up in like a fucking Zeppelin, and he's just like, I've been following you guys with this the whole time, and you never noticed, by the way.
Yeah. This is Eggman's floating masterpiece, the Egg Carrier. And he beams himself up with Chaos and all the emeralds. And Sonic and Tails decide, we're gonna chase after Eggman. Knuckles fucks off to do his own thing that we'll explain eventually. Also, whenever, like, a playable character shows up for the first time, you unlock their mode, and when you unlock that mode, it does say, now you can play with character name. So, now you can play with Knuckles.
Now you can play with Tails.
Yeah, you can play with Tails.
So you have to play through as Sonic first in order to get everyone else.
Not exactly. Like, technically, that is the best way to just get all of them. But also, if you like decide, hey, I'm gonna stop playing Sonic Story for a bit and play like Tails or Knuckles, then anytime you meet a character with them, that character becomes unlocked.
Gotcha.
Huh.
Yeah. They, Sonic and Tails decide they're gonna ride the tornado and get there. The tornado is, Sonic's playing from Sonic 2. There's a whole takeoff sequence inspired by Thunderbirds and also used in the OVA. And we get Sky Chase Act 1. It's a very basic on-rails shooter. Pressing B fires weapon, holding B lets you lock on. And they fly to and around the egg carrier, but at the end, Eggman shoots a big laser and destroys one of the wings, sending the tornado crashing to the ground. And that's where we leave off for this part.
Yeah, Sonic fucking dies.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the end because he's dead.
Good game.
I watched
Rest in peace.
I watched the whole thing because I didn't realize that we were only doing the first part today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So since you watched a little ahead, because so did I, does the bird that Amy gives Sonic in the next few minutes ever become relevant again, or is that just a way to get like Amy in this game?
Oh, that character is just like central to Amy's story.
Okay. Like she just runs up and is like, "Here's a bird. I'm gonna follow you now," and I'm just like, "Oh, okay."
You got a question?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. If you want to send us a question, you can send it either on Twitter in response to one of our posts, or at any time at your leisure on our Discord channel, which is accessible from the Twitter, which is at ShuffleSonic. Let's read off our one Twitter question, and then we'll go with the Discord question. Our Twitter question comes in from For Murasame fan account at Cowley, who asks, why do you think Sonic Team bundled a whole adventure video game with lore and interesting concepts like a god of destruction being made of water, of all things, with their funny fantasy pet simulator?
Because it rules.
Yeah.
For fun.
It's...
Because the Chaos rule.
Yeah, the water god is actually relevant to Chao lore.
Yeah, who's to say the Chaos aren't also gods?
I mean, just based on, like Chao, it's like chaos without the S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about.
Yeah. It
Just
really
something
is.
to make you think.
I've never talked about the Chao Garden, so I'll just quickly mention there's a pet simulator in this game. They're Chao. Whenever you finish a level, or whenever you like defeat an enemy in a level, you get like a little animal. You can feed them to the Chao to give them stat boosts. And you can give the Chao different accessories. You can have them partake in races that result in little rewards. And it's the best part of the game.
They rule.
Yeah, they're adorable. I named mine Chongus.
Good.
Is it? And can't you like make them like angels and devil looking?
You can, but not in this game.
Oh.
Yeah. That'll have to wait until Sonic Adventure 2.
Gotcha.
But yeah. Also, like, Chao can like develop attachments to specific characters, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, like if you spend enough time with like the Chao as one character, they'll get more attached to that character. And like one of the things that Chows have various activities that can sort of like they can do over the course of like their lifespan, and one of them is like drawing character pictures of like their favorite character.
That's so fucking cute.
I love them.
I like
I
that
love
you can
Chows.
like do as much or as little of the Chao Garden as you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like locking things behind it for the story.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem it's like not required, but people still love to do it.
Yeah. I will note that it is like something of like a recurring feature in all of these games, which is adding something that gives replay value. Because
Yeah.
you know, you can just like keep playing the stages over and over and get more animals to give to your Chao.
And also you can get different things for different characters since they like them more.
Aren't they animals flickies?
Yeah, they're flickies. The Chao rubs up against them and gets their part.
Oh, okay, it doesn't eat them.
Yeah.
I thought it ate them the way you said it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think I phrased it wrong.
I was like, oh no.
It would be weird if Sonic just fed...
You just walk up and give a Chao something and it just unhinges its jaw like a snake.
Well, I was thinking just because, like, Sonic can befriend the flickies and stuff and other things. I was like, that seems weird.
It's like, I brought you a friend, little guy, and it just unhinges its jaw.
It just unhinges its jaw and eats tails.
Yeah.
Then the Chao gets 2 tails.
Yeah.
That'd be cute.
Just, I don't know.
Fucked up but cute.
See, that's it for Twitter questions, so let's hop over to Discord in the Ask Zone. Find that real quick. Here we go. We've got a couple questions. Our first question comes in from James the Cat Girl, who asks, did you play Sonic Adventure first, or Adventure 2? Yeah, like, as a reminder, Sonic Adventure 2 came to the GameCube before Sonic Adventure 1, so I imagine there's quite a few people where this applies.
I've only played 2. I have not played any of 1 or XD or anything. I know about it because I watched Let's Players in the past, but even then I didn't watch all of it.
Yeah. I actually... Oh, you first.
Sorry, I don't think I've ever played any of these games, if I'm being very honest. I think I had Sonic 1 for the Sega, and then the one Sonic RPG that is as far from a Sonic game as possible. And that's it.
Okay.
I've only played Sonic. I should say, like, I have experience playing no other Sonic games.
Yeah, I did play Adventure 1 first. I remember, like, getting into the games proper in the mid-2000s, so both were already out at the time for the GameCube. I played them on my Wii. Our next question comes in from Sidmon, a friend of the show Jasmine, who asks, how many Chaos Emerald bones does your Chaos OC have in them? What are your Chao OCs? And how long do you spend time trying to enter the car tunnels?
So I know Chao OCs are a thing. Are Chaos OCs a thing?
Honestly, I don't think so. Like, Chaos is like a surprisingly underused character in fan works.
Chaos seems like kind of out of... It seems a little out of place, but like kind of in a cool way. But like...
Yeah.
Because it seems, especially because you can see its brain and stuff, it seems almost like... I mean, it's not creepy to me, but it has... Like, it's creepier than you'd expect from a Sonic game, I guess. And it's like...
It's definitely the most alien of the designs.
Yeah! Because a lot of times it's...
Like, it just feels like something weird.
Yeah.
It's like things are cartoony in Sonic games if they're not, like, realistic. And this isn't really either. Like, it has some cartoony elements because its arms can get all long and stretchy and weird, but, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of just its weird own thing. Like, I almost kind of, like, wish it was its own thing, almost. Like, no offense to Sonic, but...
That's fair. It is very different from the sort of rubber hose cartoons we see in Sonic and Friends.
My Chao OC is devil horns. I don't know.
I need to make it. I should make a Chao OC.
Yeah, you have more actual experience with them.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I had a black Chao, which you can unlock in one of the adventure fields. And I gave them a cardboard box hat.
Aww.
I don't remember what I named them. I have no idea what I have no memory of what I named them, but I like them a lot.
I wonder if there's, like, a pick room for a Chao. I feel like that's a thing.
I know there's, like, this fan-made Chao maker. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
I think it's called, like, ChaoIsland.com. Chao-island.com. It lets you, let's see. Oh, yeah, it's, like, this whole thing dedicated to, Chao and, and the desire to see them again in a Sonic game. Yeah, 3D Chao Viewer, which lets you, I believe it lets you make Chao, create and view Chao in 3D. I've got to link this in the show notes. I love this site.
I am on this site right now.
Yeah.
If I make an OC, I will post it in the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, now that I remember it, like, in some recent issues of the IDW comics, they were focused on, like, Chao races, so to, like, come up with some designs, Evan Stanley, like, popped open Chao-island.com to, like, make a bunch of Chao in it, to use, like, as models for the background characters. As for the car tunnels, I do remember spending a lot of time trying to enter those when I was in, like, middle or high school, whenever I played those. Keith the Mouse says, Sonic Adventure DX was the first console game I ever owned, so shout out to that. For those familiar with the soundtrack, what is your favorite character theme? If you could pick a character from the Sonic roster to replace Big in his fishing levels, who would it be? First off, I think my personal favorite, like, character theme from Sonic Adventure 1 is Knuckles' theme, which we will get to eventually. I have something planned when it comes to lyrical character themes in these games. And I would say I wouldn't replace Big, but I would tweak his levels a little bit, because I think I respect Big the Cat and his fishing levels, but they are a little weird and janky. I think they could use some improvement. The main thing I want to do is make it more like Sega Pro Bass Fishing. Another Sega fishing game from this time. I fucking love Pro Bass Fishing. It's like the opposite of what you expect out of a fishing game. Like, generally speaking with fishing games, they're slow paced, sort of, almost like meditative. They're meant to reflect, like, how the hobby feels. And, like, the essential point of the hobby, which is just to sort of, like, relax a bit and just sit out by the water. Maybe. Sega Pro Bass Fishing is meant to capture the feel of getting a bite and having to reel a fish in. And it's the exact opposite of every fishing game I've ever played, and it's super fast-paced and energetic, and I love it so much. That, or I would just make it go the opposite direction and just make it like, I don't know, like Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley, just more peaceful and meditative. either one or the other, but no in between, which is what it is right now.
Or yeah, something like pretty easy. Like yeah, Animal Crossing can be annoying, but it's like pretty fast at least.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. I think they need to bring back fishing to Sonic the Hedgehog. I just don't think it should be exactly like big levels. Flutterdark asks 2 questions. If the goal is to get Chaos Emeralds, why don't they split up? Tails is a follower. Tails does not want to do it on their own. Tails has a lot of self-doubt on his abilities, which we will get to when we talk about Tails' story. And also, and I spoiler tag this because I don't know where you stop, and we didn't stop before this. How do normal humans play the Sonic-sized pinball?
They would load giant balls into the thing and then fire them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's
like cannon-sized balls.
Exactly the size of one Sonic.
Yeah, they have a metric for the size of Sonic, and then they do that.
Let's see. Shura asks, how did the promotional artwork for Sonic Adventure make you feel when you first saw it? I guess Drashura like clears up, like, did you ever like see any like art or anything the first time for like Sonic Adventure and like what it made you think? Like, I've provided like a specific example of like this promotional thing that sort of showed like Sonic's eyes and mouth in silhouette. First thing I ever saw was like this 2-page spread in a video game magazine that made it feel way more like epic and adventurous and even like mysterious. And I was like, oh, this looks amazing. I have to play this someday. I needed to know what was going on with that. Andy asks, what modern/current games do you feel would make good use of the VMUs if the Dreamcast was happening now? Oh yeah, I haven't explained the VMU. So, the Dreamcast had a very different idea on how a memory card would work compared to other games from the time. What they did was the VMU, which was it was like a handheld LCD console, or not, an LCD handheld that was also a memory card. And like, to give an example with Sonic Adventure, you put the VMU into your controller. By the way, they're inserted in the controller instead of the console.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the N64 kind of do something like that too? It had like a weird thing like in the back that you could plug into the controller.
Yeah, N64 had the rumble.
That's probably what it was. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought there was like something with memory too.
Oh, there was a separate thing. I don't remember if it came in the controller or the console, but like there was a memory expansion pack that came with like Majora's Mask and Donkey Kong 64.
Yes. That's what I was thinking of. Because it doesn't come with the console because the console doesn't have any place for memory cards. Because a lot of the games can just like hold the game
right
entirety. But like those games for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. I'm much more familiar with the N64 than I am with Sega.
Yeah, so to like give an example of how the VMU would work, for like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, you could like load a Chao from your VMU and like take it out when you're done playing with the Dreamcast and sort of like do this like pet raising minigame, like a Tamagotchi with it. And then like whenever you were done, you could just like put it back in the controller and the Chao would have like different stats and stuff. a game that I would want to see this VMU function. The only thing that's really immediately coming to mind is Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they had something like that around when Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out. But, damn. Also, I know, like, a lot of games would just, like, have certain animations that played when you put in when you had the VMU, like, save and load the game. That was cool. Oh, fuck! Yakuza! There'd have to be something with Yakuza. I don't know what, but something. Put a Chao Garden in Yakuza.
God, put a Chao Garden in Yakuza.
Yo, Kiryu would go crazy for Chao.
Yeah.
Majima Chao OC.
I love that. Alright. That wraps up our questions. So, let's roll for next week. That is an 8, which means we'll be watching 2 episodes of Sonic X.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I'll have to look up which episodes they are, but I think we would be on episodes like either 5 and 6 or 7 and 8. Let me see.
Yeah. Sonic X just kind of flows.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 5 and 6. So next time we'll be talking about those eps. And with that, let's go to plugs. I'm Dan. You can find me at a lot of places. And you can find all those places at linktr.ee/Mike_Dawson with a 0. From there, you can find my Twitter. You can find the other podcasts I do, which are Pot of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast, and Stranger's Fiction, an actual play podcast focused on one-shots. We've been playing more Stew Pot. And last but not least, you can visit at Xbox_holiday, where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. And today, on the day of this recording, January 21st, 2021, happy birthday, Geese Howard! And I've posted an appropriate image to go with that. Morg, where can we find you?
You can find me on Chao Island. No, you can find me at on Twitter at Haunting the Morg. That's Haunting the MORG. You can also find me on my other podcast, Departure Lounge, an airplane themed X Hunter podcast, where I go through the show for the first time with my 2 friends who've seen it before, and I haven't put out anything since the last time we recorded this, even though we have a big backlog. But eventually you will hear me being very happy about the fucking Phantom Troop, if those ever come out.
You'll get there. Eddie.
I'll get there eventually. That's it. For me, how about you, Devon?
You can find me on Twitter at Grooving Ghastly, and you can also find me on another Hunter x Hunter podcast called Going Well Hunting, where we have just arrived also at the Phantom Troop. And if I ever get done editing this week's episode and then just do a mass upload because I have been lazy for the last few weeks, you'll get to hear about that. And that's it for me.
We are all We are all bad at uploading.
Yeah, the theme
on
song
time.
for Hunter x Hunter says you can try
If you-
again, and I say, yeah, but maybe later.
I was like, I only have the first season now. It's
It's
fine.
alright.
I'm normal.
You can find us at ShuffleSonic on Twitter, and from there you can find our Discord. And by the time you hear this, we should be a Noise Space podcast.
Oh yeah.
So you can go there at noisespace.xyz. Z because Matt's Canadian and I have to say Z.
Damn.
You can listen to all sorts of podcasts, like Elite Full Restore, a Pokemon podcast, Fear Baiting, a horror movie podcast with Sarah,
You all.
Kamurocho. Yeah?
Oh, I was just gonna say you could also find Dan's podcast, Pot of Greed.
Yeah, Pot of Greed's on there. You can listen to Kamurocho Radio, a Yakuza replay podcast. You can listen to Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, Not a Threat, Just a Fact, a leftist politics podcast for the terminally online.
We're all online.
Yeah. You can listen to Nana Roy's Nightmare in Era, a creepypasta podcast. That one should be going up later this week of the recording. You can listen to my podcast, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and many, many others.
Good.
Yeah. As always, Sonic is real, he is strong, he is my friend.
It's the only Blue Live that matters other than this Chao I just made.
The only one except for... No, my Chow's not. The only one except for Morg's Chow.
A lot of... Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.